In this video, we're going to talk about how to add an employee to your FireFly POS system. Start out by clicking on the Employee button. This is a list of all of our employees. You can filter the list by status as well as by job type to find employees. Let's just click Add to add a new employee. The FireFly system gives you a lot of different fields you can track, but we'll talk about the most critical ones. I'm going to go ahead and enter my new employee. I need to enter the first name, last name, as well as a nickname, which will be used on the driver and server screens. The social security number is also required. The employee number is optional and can be used to tie an employee number to your payroll system. You can also enter these additional fields if you'd like. The only other real required field on this screen is the status. Let's go ahead and set them to active. Then you can fill out any of these other details, their address, phone number, etc., and save changes. Now you'll see we have an option to add notes if you'd like. The confirmed messages and schedule violations will be added automatically by the system as things progress with this employee. Now let's look at the Jobs and Payroll tab. Here's where we go ahead and enter their hourly wage. If you'd like, you can mark them as salaried and enter a weekly salary amount. If you check exempt from payroll, this employee will not show up on any of your payroll reports. Now it's important that we choose which jobs this employee is authorized for. This list of job titles is customizable, and we cover that in the employee setup video. Let's mark this as eligible for the manager and driver job. If you'd like, you can fill out an override wage for either job. This means when they're clocked in as a driver, instead of getting their normal rate of $10.50, they'll make $5 because they'll be making it up in tips. Over here are our job requirements. If you've set up any job requirements, go ahead and enter the dates here. You'll see a red asterisk, which indicates any required elements based on the job selected. If there's a red asterisk on any of these, a date must be filled in or the employee will not be able to clock into the system. We'll save this now and move on to System and Security. Here's where you set the employee's password. I'm just going to type in a password and hit Set. If you're using a biometric fingerprint reader, you would just click the register finger instead. At that point, the employee could apply their fingerprint to the digital reader and save that fingerprint as their login ID. The other critical element here is the employee workgroup. We have 6 different levels of security that we've set up in this system. Each gives different levels of access to different areas. Let's go ahead and choose this employee to be at level B. Can they send email within the system? That's up to you. Now go ahead and hit Save. Depending on the security level you've identified, you might see this administrative password prompt. The administrative password is a secure password that you need to enter in order to give employees privileges that would give them access to certain secure areas related to credit card processing. This is required by PCI guidelines. So go ahead and create or enter your administrative password to save this employee. On the Communications tab, you have the option to enter an external email if you'd like to send any sales alerts, or for most employees, just schedule notices externally. You can also send those internally. And then on the Availability tab, we can set up detailed scheduling requirements, such as when the employee's available if they have a regular commitment or they can't work. Okay, now let's look at the front end and see how we can clock in this employee. We've got James. If you have any problems when you try to clock them in using their password, you've probably forgotten either an authorized job type to make them active or to choose their security work group. We choose the job, clock on, and they're ready to start work.